Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Welcome back to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold, and as always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, I'm heading out to Vegas in about 2 hours, baby. It's March Madness. We're here. We made it. We're going to run through the entirety of round one and round two, including the Wednesday night bets. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I wish I could join you in Vegas, man. I might make a surprise trip. We'll see. But well, I'll definitely hit you up on that. But it's DGen State University time, man. We're ready to play bets from starting tonight, man. Like Wednesday's really where it gets going with the first four. And then, I mean, I'm not going to be doing much. I mean, don't talk to my employer, but I'm going to be kicking back, not doing much, watching hoops literally all day, every day for the next 72 hours.
Well, the good news is that everyone at your company will also be doing the exact same thing. And same at our company. Everyone will be watching March Madness, getting excited for it. All right, so two things that we have at Champions Round heading into March Madness. We have a player prop 7 stakes and a tournament prop 7 stakes. Both of those are live right now. They close right before Colorado State, Michigan at 9:15 a.m. Pacific, Thursday, March 17th. Go join those. There's about 50 spots left in each of those, and they're going to be really cool contests. Also, if you go to my Twitter page and the Champions Round Twitter page, I have up my entire gambling sheet. This is all the work that I've done for these games. So if you forgot this podcast or you don't want to listen to us scream for 40 minutes about what's a blood bank lock and whatever the hell else we're doing, and when I take out my money gun and you think we're annoying, that's fine. Go to this. Go to this page. I have 4 different tabs for you. There's a March Madness worksheet that takes into account a lot of the KenPom information, which is the best information you're ever going to find on college basketball stuff. And you'll see stuff highlighted in green and red that basically means it's good or bad stat for that individual team. Or if you look in the gambling column, bets that you're supposed to make given the difference in the spread. Then there's a tracking system. This takes into account a lot of the information from Action Network that you guys aggregate. Always great stuff, always great nuggets. You can see where the sharp movement is. You can see what side the sharps are on. We will talk about that in a second. Then, obviously, the locks page, all my best bets for the college basketball March Madness tournament. Yesterday was okay. We did all right. We hit a nice Indiana live first half over 52.5. They closed at 55. That was a little blood bank guarantee right there. Love that. And then, if anyone's in these player points pools that I love doing, so you pick one player from each seed and you accumulate total points, whoever has the most points at the end of the contest wins. I actually have up a fake version right now. I'm going to enter one later today, but here would be my picks for those. So you can go in there. Hopefully it'll help you win one of your contests. I will also put up a bracket later today, my personal bracket. We can run through this maybe a little bit at the end of the show, who you have winning or who your final four is. But, yeah, maybe it'll help some people win some contests. I'm definitely more of a contrarian when it comes to this because I think everyone's going to pick Gonzaga to win the goddamn tournament, which is fine. But you're not going to win your bracket challenge if you're picking Gonzaga to win a national championship. It's way too hard of a road.
Yeah, it depends I'd say it depends on the settings. Like if you're playing in a system that rewards for upsets, like you might as well just try it. Like shoot your shots on those 13 4 seeds and so forth, 5 and 12. But yeah, generally speaking, like that's the way I kind of think about it. It's like if everyone's going to pick Gonzaga, like how can I differentiate from that, but still get some correct answers in the forefront so you can make up the points. But yeah, always great time, man. And I'm ready to, my final four is interesting. Not that I don't feel like I'm not going that contrarian, but definitely not rolling with all favorites here. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So tonight, Wednesday, first game, 3:40, 16 seed on 16 seed action, which means this is the only game that they will win in the tournament. Bryant versus Wright State. Currently, Wright State minus 2.5, over under set at 155.5. So off the top, let me say this. My numbers suggest that I'm supposed to bet the over in this game. But neutral court unders, baby. And it's a shout out to our guys at Sports Gambling Podcast. First half unders in the NCAA Tournament. Undefeated, best bet you can make. So those are the two things that I'm definitely going to look at. You got this under 150 neutral court. Obviously, I'm supposed to bet under that is historically good. So under 155.5. And then also on the other side, that first half under, I'm not sure what it's at right now, probably like 70, 2.5, something like that, 73.5. Gonna like that one. In terms of my numbers on this one, looks like I'm supposed to bet Wright State a little bit. There has been some action on Bryant that has moved this from 3.5 to 2.5. What is your read, or what are you hearing on this game?
Yeah, I was gonna grow with you with what you just said. Shout out to the SGPN crew because they were very profitable last season.
And last night, 2-0.
Yeah, so I think it was started off. I think last night they were 79% to first half unders, and much of what you said, it's the handicap of playing on a neutral court. You know, the excitement and the restlessness of playing in for a shot in the tournament. You know, nerves and all that type of stuff. So I think that's the right play here. And at 72. I've never watched Bryant play. I've never watched Wright State play. So I'm taking the under on 72 in the first half. I think that makes sense for my bracket. I did pick Bryant. They are 3.5-point dogs, but yeah, I don't really know why I'm picking Bryant. I'm just not picking Wright State here.
Nice. All right. Next game up, Rutgers, Notre Dame. This is also in Dayton. Notre Dame currently favored -1.5, -120 on the money line. Over under is at 133.5. I love Notre Dame in this game. The market doesn't really as much. The line has gone up from 1 to 1.5, but the numbers suggest that is kind of wonky. Rutgers catching 63% of the bets, 76% of the money here. So maybe it's a super sharp group that is moving this number on Notre Dame. I was already on Notre Dame. There's some good stats that I have on my sheet. Rutgers offensive is trash, 100 in the country. Notre Dame is 29 in the country on offense, 84 on defense. Rutgers defense is okay at 43. Luck is pretty much the same. Notre Dame is a much better free throw shooting team and three-point shooting team, 37 to 33 on the three-pointers and 75 to 70 on the free throw. So in a close game, I think that's probably what gets it done. Also, little fade on the Big Ten here. I think the Big Ten gets overrated because of the competition that they play in every game's amongst good teams. But don't sleep on this Notre Dame team. I think that they can get it done on Wednesday night in Dayton.
Yeah, according to Haslam metrics, the Rutgers ranks 352nd in the nation in consistency, and much of what you said about their struggling defense. I'm from the Philly area. I know Rutgers pretty well. I think I went to a basketball camp there. I don't know if I'm using that to justify why I'm going to fade them, but I think Notre Dame obviously has been more. They've just been a more consistent team. They run a tight rotation with only 7 players. They run a lot of zone. I love zone teams in the tournament because they just tend to slow the tempo down and cause havoc for opposing offenses. So if Rutgers already struggles to shoot the ball and they're not consistent, I think Notre Dame makes a lot of sense here. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with Notre Dame, and I also like the under at 133.5.
Yeah, like the under there too, especially that first half. Again, we're going to talk about that pretty much for every game we have on the board here. I will say this about Rutgers. Rutgers is dominant, or has been dominant at home in the Big Ten. They are terrible on the road. So this game, not in New Jersey, fade spot, absolutely. So Notre Dame tonight for sure. All right, starting off 9:15 a.m. I'll be at the Sportsbook around 8:30 tomorrow in Mandalay. Can't wait to see these first 2 games. I can guarantee you are going to be in some round robin parlays for me. So it's going to get spicy early, especially game number 2. Let's talk about the first game first. I'm actually going to be with a lot of Michigan people. So to start off the tournament with Michigan is going to be hilarious. Michigan currently -1.5 against Colorado State. Over under 136.5. Michigan -130 on the money line. Colorado State coming back at +105. Sharps are all over Colorado State in this one. This line has moved from 2.5 to 1.5. But the concern, as always, with Colorado State or any team in the Mountain West is the Mountain West gets absolutely dump trucked in the NCAA tournament. We saw it a little bit last night. Indiana dominated Wyoming. I don't know how that was a 6-point game. It seems like they should have won by 25 points. Again, Indiana stinks, so take that for what you will. So the question here is, are you going to follow the Sharps and believe that Colorado State's a good team and the Mountain West can actually produce some NCAA tournament victors, or do you go with the victors in Michigan?
Go with the victors in Michigan. Just got to do it. It's the Mountain West. Like Colorado State, I think we were talking about it on a few shows ago. It's like some of these obscure teams that have great coaching. You know, they obviously the sharps are on them for a reason. But when such a tight game, I'm going to take that strength of schedule and I don't know. I think Juwan Howard's going to coach his team up here. They've been in this situation. I got to ride with the bigger dog here in Michigan.
Michigan's been absolute trash at the end of the season, but I do think that they have some significant advantages, especially, athlete-wise in this game. Looking at some of the stats here, they're both top 20 in offense, both between 80 and 91 in defense. The big difference here for me, favorite luck, Michigan has been one of the most unlucky teams in the country this year. They're 238. KenPom has Colorado State at 6th, the 6th luckiest team in the country. Usually those are teams that you want to fade. So I'll be on Michigan come this one. I'm going to have to fade the Sharps here. Don't feel great about doing it. They clearly have a good read on this one. But, give me a big blue. But second game of the day, oh, boy. I can feel it in my bones already. I can feel the money pouring out. It's going to go right to the sports book. But this is going to be about everything that I do on Thursday, as is going to be with everyone else. South Dakota State plus 2.5 against Providence. Total sitting at 149.5. South Dakota State plus 120 on the money line. Let me tell you a little bit about the Jackrabbits.
Those damn Jackrabbits.
Let me just tell you a little bit about the Jackrabbits. They're 12th in offense in the country. They have the highest three-point percentage in the country. They shoot 44.2% from deep. Basically, the whole team is a bunch of little Steph Currys. They are 76% at the free throw line. That is also pretty good. That is what you want from an underdog. I'm not saying that they win this game every time. I'm saying that they're probably over 50% chance to win. And if they get hot from three, Providence, watch the hell out. Also for Providence, they are 31 on offense, 79 on defense. Their luck rank, they are number 1. They are the luckiest team in the entire country. This is absolutely the team to fade. The other 2 4 seeds, so this is the shortest 4 seed line in the history of the tournament. There have been 2 others that have also been at 2.5. Both of those teams lost outright. So what does that tell you? It either tells you that Providence is historically underrated in this position, or their ass is going to lose. South Dakota State, baby, money line.
I'm with you on South Dakota State, man. Got to Jackrabbit time, man, because it's really just how you describe it. It's the luck factor. And up until last month, it seems that Providence was the luckiest team in KenPom's metrics in nearly a quarter century. So, like, this team, I mean, they got it together a little bit, and they can shoot. They led the Big East in shooting, but at that point, I mean, I can't trust them. I gotta take them. I gotta take the Jackrabbits here.
So Providence led the Big East in shooting, but from deep, only 34.3%, which isn't terrible. But you're 10% less than South Dakota State. Right. You got some big issues. You got some big issues.
I mean, that's pretty telling that this is the shortest line in history of that seeding. So yeah. If you don't have the Jackrabbits in your bracket, make that switch ASAP.
All right. Next game up on the board, 10:45 tomorrow. Boise State, Memphis. Memphis currently a 2.5-point favorite. Total is set at 133.5. Boise is a really good team, ranked 17th in defense, and Memphis has come on strong. They're a much different team without Bates on the floor. I think that they can get it done here. 2.5 might be a little strong, but I'm going to try and fade the Mountain West all the way through, except for my boys at San Diego State. So give me Memphis in this one. I don't feel great about it. It probably won't make any of our big round robins, but that's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah, this was a tough one, man, and it's always the 8-9 seeds. I feel like that always are a little bit tricky. They never really go very far in the tournament, but you're just trying to accumulate those wins. Boise State is definitely underrated here. I think many people will probably be attracted to Penny Hardaway and how this team really changed their season around after what I guess would be an early season meltdown. But they play the post very well. They have good defense. They do turn over the ball a lot, which I think would play into Boise State's hands. This one's kind of a toss-up for me. In my bracket, I chose Boise State. This is probably a stay away for me betting-wise.
All right. First 16-1 on the board, Norfolk State against Baylor. Line's 21.5. total 137.5. I am supposed to bet, based on my numbers, I'm supposed to bet a little on Norfolk. My spread is 18. My total is 140. I'm not betting on Norfolk State against Baylor. There's no chance of that's happening.
Dude. That's tough. So that spread's too wide for me, man. I gotta. Yeah, I might just
pass.
Yeah, that's tough. I can't get behind that one.
All right, let's move over to Longwood, Tennessee. That line of 16.5, total 132. My number on the game, 15 and 133. So pretty close on that one. Tennessee, really hot to close the SEC tournament. A team that I really think that can make the Final Four. But my question here is, Rick Barnes, we know that you stink. You lost in the first round to Oregon State last year. You traditionally do this where you blow it. You're great in conference tournaments and horrible in the NCAA tournament. Can I finally trust you this year? You ran through the SEC with two teams that were supposedly better than you, Kentucky and Auburn. You got robbed of a 2 seed from Duke. You should be a 2 seed on this line. Problem is that you had two other SEC teams in the 2 spot. Also, tournament committee did not like you. Are you going to show up and prove why you deserve to have that 2nd seed? Are you going to show up and prove that you're a Final Four capable team? I don't know. Rick Barnes continues to fuck me. So I like Tennessee. I think they will go deep in this tournament, but I'm going to need some emotional coaching to get through my Rick Barnes hate in order to get them to that point.
I mean, clearly, damn. Wow. I guess I need to update my bracket then. Yeah, I guess Longwood, they balled out in conference play. Were they 15 and 1? So yeah. I mean, they have a track record of performance here, but I think Tennessee is going to be a little bit too much in the first round draw here. So I'm gonna roll with Tennessee. I'm probably not going to lay the 17.5 points. That's quite a bit. So part of me, that might be one of my D-Gen bets. I might take Longwood 17.5.
As I'm looking at it on your company's website, 52% of the bets and 89% of the money is on Tennessee. So
Longwood. What's up? You got to fade the public in these situations, man. The public never wins in March Madness.
But isn't this kind of sharp that 89% of the money and only 52% of the bets? So the bigger bets are coming in on Tennessee.
17.5 though. I don't. It's a lot. It's a lot for a Tennessee team that you don't believe in. I do believe in them. I just don't trust fucking Rick Barnes. You still trust him later in the tournament?
No, I don't trust him ever. Rick Barnes is the worst. Rick Barnes is the worst. But I love the team. The team is so good. They're so much fun to watch. So I'm like, it's a weird spot for me. But I think I'm going to end up probably laying a little bit on Tennessee here. All right, let's get to some more interesting games. This is a game that a lot of people think can be an upset, which I would kind of surprised by. Richmond at or against Iowa. Line is 10.5. Total is 150.5. Richmond, seemingly on paper, doesn't have a lot going for them. 68 in offense, 104 D, 33.7 from deep, 72.5 from free throw. That's okay. Iowa, meanwhile, number 2 offense in the country, 77 on D, so nothing impressive there. And I don't know, they just ran through the Big Ten tournament. So if you're fading the Big Ten, I get why you want to bet on Richmond here, but it seems a little dicey to me. I don't really have a read, but a lot of the sharp action I'm hearing is coming out of Richmond, so that might be worth tailing.
I mean, Keegan Murray is one of the best players in the nation. I'm not fading him for anything. So, nah. Good luck, Richmond. I'm doing it. I'm not taking. I'm not going that far.
All right, next game on the board: Georgia State, Gonzaga. Georgia State, one of the best 16 seeds in the history of the tournament. Should have been a 14 seed. Got a kind of a shitty draw here. 23.5 and 149.5 against Gonzaga. Not much to say here. There is a lot of sharp money on this 23.5 number. It came down from 25.5, I believe. Started at 25.5 here. So I don't know. 26% of the bets, 80% of the money is on Georgia State in this game. So I don't know. Do you want to play against Gonzaga? I don't know.
I mean, I'm 1-0 against Gonzaga. I mean, I bet Pepperdine to cover 33, so might as well ride the wave here. And Georgia State, let's go Bulldogs.
By the way, that was the greatest joke you've ever not meant to make. Was Pepperdine ride the wave? That was so good. That was so good. And there's no chance that you meant to do that.
I did
if
not.
you did,
Not
good for you.
at all.
Okay, even better.
Not at all.
All right. Next game on the board, Marquette, North Carolina. North Carolina's minus 3.5 right now. Total sitting at 152.5. So automatically under 152.5, under first half. Absolutely a bet for me. UNC Marquette, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. Someone's going to convince me when I'm 6 Jack Daniels deep. Be like, oh, I got to read on Marquette. Great. Here's $500. Go place it on Marquette plus 3.5 for me. I don't know.
It's more so. Do you trust UNC, man? They've just another very inconsistent team all season. They're just on the bubble of being ranked. What are they? 25th, I think. They finished 25th in the country. I mean, I feel like I like these Marquette gritty. I don't know. I feel like Marquette's always one of those tournament teams that always performs, whereas UNC, given their track record, man, I can't trust the ACC that much. ACC is very volatile this year. Yeah,
I get that. 82% of the money, 91% of the bets on UNC right now. The line hasn't moved that much. So
damn.
Maybe that's like the ultimate, like, okay, everybody's on the public is on NC, so let's go Marquette. New Mexico State, Uconn minus 6.5, total 131.5. This is not a great version of this New Mexico State team, and I think this Uconn team is absolutely going to get it done. 21 on offense, 35 on defense. New Mexico State only 69% on free throws. Not a good situation if you want an underdog. So yes, this is a 12-5 matchup, but it is one where I am going to be on Uconn probably pretty heavy come tomorrow.
How profitable has the 12-5 matchups been? Or not profitable, but the success rate of 12-5s? Because I know that was always like the trend, like, oh, you got to get a 12-5 winner.
Yeah,
but I feel like it hasn't been hitting as much as it used to.
If you blindly bet for the last, I think, 20 years, 11s and 12s, it's the only two lines that has been profitable, and they hit it like 55 and 56%. So I don't specifically remember last year, but it definitely is profitable to bet those two.
So Uconn, I think I took New Mexico State in my bracket here. And the line's like what, 7 points, 6.5?
6.5. Yeah. I really like Uconn in this game.
Okay.
And I don't generally like Uconn in general. And Hurley in the tournament hasn't had great results, but I think that this matchup specifically is really, really beneficial for them. So I'll definitely end up on Uconn come tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm just kind of looking through the numbers of it. They both play a super slow pace, so not mad at taking the first half under on that one. Slight edge to New Mexico State on field goal percentage, less turnovers. But UConn just pounds them in the middle. Their rebound rate just crushes them. Yeah, I don't. This one I'll probably. I don't know. This one might be one of those ones I'm going to throw as a DGen bet closer to tip off.
Love it. New Mexico State also 17 in luck per KenPom, so good spot to fade them potentially there. St. Peter's, Kentucky minus 17.5, total at 132. Don't really have anything on this game. My numbers say St. Peter's is a little bit of a good bet. I have it at 15, but they do nothing special. They're 259 on offense. Do I really want the 259 offense against Kentucky and all of their athletes? Not a fucking chance. So, I mean, I can see this being an absolute destruction. Also, St. Peter's 68% on free throws. That's not great. Kentucky's offense is 4. Their defense is 27. They're just a good team, good, solid Kentucky team. I don't think they're anything special comparatively to what they've had in the past, but they can definitely play. I'm not going to end up betting this game. It's too scary.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick Kentucky here. I don't know that I'm going to bet this spread, man. I just don't like what I've seen. Even I feel like Kentucky, I have them going pretty far, but I just feel like it's a product of they have a pretty weak section of their bracket, not because of their play. So I don't know how much I'm going to be betting on Kentucky, at least in the first couple days. All
right. Creighton, San Diego State. San Diego State minus 2.5, total 119.5, lowest on the board. My numbers say 3 and 119, so I'm pretty close to the market. I hate Creighton. Their luck rating is 25th, and that's only because at the end they dropped off. They were top 15 for a while there. 124 on offense, negative. They're 18 on defense, which is great, but you're playing a team that's even better on defense, so it's not exactly an advantage for them. 25th in luck, 30.7% from deep. That is horrible, and you're going up against the number 2 defense in the country. I don't think Creighton's going to score at all in this game. This game could be like 51-43 San Diego State. Like, I think that's it. San Diego State for their 157 on offense, so also terrible. 2 on defense. They don't really have any negatives. They shoot 36% from deep. 70% free throw shooter isn't great, but it's okay. I like San Diego State in this one.
I also like San Diego State in this one. I wish I had the feeling of fading Creighton as much as you do, but yeah, these 8-9 matchups, man, again, they're just super tough for me to distinguish. So I took Boise State in the other one, so I'm going to take San Diego State in this one. No true handicap here. I'm going to go with the West Coasters and take San Diego State.
All right. Now to the night slate. Vermont, Arkansas. This is one of the biggest upsets on the board, potentially. Vermont plus 5.5. This came down from 6.5 to 5, now up to 5.5. Arkansas, I think they're catching public money to bring this number back up. I don't think it's necessarily sharp, but I think all the sharps got in from 6.5 to 5. Total sitting at 139.5. Look, Vermont, really solid team. So if you look on my Google sheet right now, there are no reds on an underdog. That usually means pretty good. Now, they do anything exceptionally well, but 24 offense, 24 on defense. They shoot almost 37% from deep, almost 75% at the free throw line. They are a good, solid team. And this Vermont school has experience doing good things in the tournament. Shout out Taylor Coppenrath, my guy. And then you go up against this Arkansas team, 40 on offense, 16 on defense, but they only shoot 30.7% from deep. This is a team that could potentially get caught here. If you're looking for an upset, especially a big one, a 13-4, I think this has to be, on your radar.
Those catamounts, man. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Arkansas started off pretty slow, and then they won 14 of their last 15 conference games. 7-2 on the road against the spread. But Vermont's definitely live here, man. Like, as you said, they're one of the best. They're, I think, 4th nationally in 2-point field goal percentage, 8th in field goal percentage. So they play well in the half court. I guess the question would be their defense, but yeah, I mean, I think that they're certainly live here. So this is one of the ones that is probably going to go into D-Gen territory. I might like Vermont a little bit more, just like you do. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be just assuming Arkansas just walks away with this thing.
I'm hoping that this number comes back up to that 6.5, and that's probably the spot where I want to really bet it. Yeah. Now, come tomorrow when it's 6 p.m., I'm going to be betting it. It's just a matter of does it make it into our bigger plays for tomorrow. 46% of the bets and 81% of the money is on Vermont. So a lot of sharp action again on Vermont here. San Francisco, Murray State, in what might be the best game of the tournament that no one has seen either team play all season long. Murray State is really good. The Dons of San Francisco are really good. It's going to be a really fun 7-10 matchup. Murray State minus 1.5, total at 137. My number says that San Francisco should be favored by 1 and the total at 137. So I'm supposed to bet San Francisco here. Remember, this Murray State team totally riding the wave of Ja Morant, and they got some guys who can absolutely cook. They destroyed in their conference tournament final. I think that last time I saw it was 77-37 or something like that. They're a really good team. This is going to be a very interesting game. San Francisco's defense ranked 19th, offense 45. They are not very good at their free throws. Murray State doesn't really do anything bad. They're 70% of their free throws, also 35 on offense, 40 on D. Teams are really close. I'm not going to pick a side here. I may end up on San Francisco just because my numbers tell me to, but I think this is going to be probably the best game that you see on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I think San Francisco is going to come out and start firing away from 3, man. They shoot at a really high rate, and being that I'm in the Bay, I think I'm going to rep them here. But I agree with you. Murray State's going to be a tough out, though. So this isn't like a clear, I love San Francisco because they played so well type of thing here. Murray State definitely plays good defense. San Fran tends to turn over the ball a lot, and that benefits the transition offense for Murray State, which has been pretty good this year. So this is going to be a fun matchup. Shouts to John Morant, one of probably the best Murray State players ever, the best Murray State player ever. San Francisco is probably like what, Bill Russell, I think.
Yeah,
so it's been a while since San Francisco's had a decent player, but I think they can make a little run here as a 10 seed. I think that was a bit disrespectful, but you also could say Murray State is valuable at a 7 seed. So this one's going to be fun.
Going to be a great game. All right, next one on the board, Akron, UCLA. This number's come down a little bit. Also, Akron is plus 13.5. Total set at 128.5. Akron doesn't do anything great on paper when you look at it. UCLA 15 in offense, 12 on defense. If you're in the top 20 of both of those categories, you are considered to be a national championship contender. No team has ever won the national championship without being top 20 in both of those, at least in the time that Ken Pom has been tracking all of this data. So I think UCLA is a really good team. I think UCLA is a team that can make a deep run into a tournament. But this is also an Akron team that apparently, given what they do well, and given what the Sharps are saying, has a chance to keep this game really tight against the Bruins. So Akron plus 13.5. I like it a little bit. Let me just tell you, this line opened at 15. It is now 13.5. 76% of the bets and 94% of the money is on Akron. That should tell you something. Sharps are all over it. I think that at 13.5, probably decent idea to stay with Akron on the side.
Akron, woof, man, that is that's a tough pill to swallow, man. UCLA, I'll probably take the under on that just to maybe, if you think Akron has a chance to kind of shut them down, I would take the under. Was it 128.5, I believe, something like that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the under on that. I love Johnny Juzang.
Shout out, he went to my high school.
Did he really?
Yeah, Harvard Wesley.
Yeah. Okay. And UCLA has tournament experience, man. They made their deep run last year. I don't think that they're going to struggle that much against Akron. I don't know that I'm going to play this one, but I do have UCLA going very far this year. So definitely believe in the Bruins. All
right. Last game on Thursday. We have Texas Southern against Kansas. No need to talk about it. Line's 21.5, 144.5. My number on Texas Southern actually is 18, but no chance. I watched both of these teams. I watched Texas Southern play last night. They're awful. And what they do well, and the advantage that they had over Texas A&M Corpus Christi is they dominated inside. They have some guys who can block shots and rebound, and the other team just had nobody that was taller than 6'4". That's not going to happen against Kansas. You're screwed. So I want no part of any of that.
You don't want that 3 points of value, man? Come on now.
No chance.
Not interested.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely riding with Kansas on this one. I don't know that I'm gonna bet it though. No, I mean maybe I will. Just seeing as how bad you think Texas Southern is, you might throw away your model there and just bet Kansas because trust the gut and the eye test.
21.5. I mean, okay. We'll see. All right, let's move over to Friday. Go through a little bit quicker on these. Ohio State, Loyola. Ohio State minus 1.5, total 132.5. My numbers say that Loyola should be favored in this game. I love Loyola in this game. Ohio State's defense is absolute trash, 131 in the country. Their offense is good at 13, but Loyola's defense, what they do great, 22 in the country. They're also 38% from deep. Of that done here. So Loyola in a early morning upset on Friday. Absolutely locked that in.
Yeah, Ohio State lost to Penn State in their conference tournament. That's never a good sign. Penn State doesn't play ball like that. Sister Jean, man, you got to ride with the mojo, man. I'm going Loyola Chicago.
All right. Jacksonville State, Auburn. Line is 15.5, total 139.5. Jacksonville State, 38.2% from deep. We're going to go with the 15-2 upset. It's on the board. People are very interested in this. I think the Jacksonville State has a shot. I don't think they're going to win, but give me that plus 15.5 all day in this one.
That's a very degen bet, so I'm going to roll with you on that. Did this line opened up at what, 13.5 or something like that?
16.5, now 15.5.
16, 15? Okay. So it's coming down a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I'll take a flyer with you. I know nothing about Jacksonville State, so let's do it. G-Gens only.
This is what we're all about. All right, so the next, I don't know how this is possible. There are 4 games in a row on Friday morning that are all lined exactly the same. They're all 15.5. Someone explain that to me. I have no idea how that works. But Montana State, Texas Tech, 15.5. Totals at 131.5. Let me just say this. Texas Tech, defense.
Legit.
They're number 1 in the country on defense, 65 on offense. Montana State, 147 and 129 offense defense. You know what we're doing? First half under. Montana State team total under. Game under. That's all I got on this game.
Trifecta. Give it to them.
The Montana State team total under? Come on. It's going to be like 39.5. I don't care.
That's good. Yeah, I'm with that. I have Texas Tech, the Raiders, going very far, so I'm with that. I have no clue who plays ball in Montana State like that. That's too deep in the Midwest for me.
No idea. Absolutely no idea. And I love that you called Montana the Midwest. That's
Midwest-ish.
Like that's my favorite.
Some flyover state, somewhere around there.
This is what happens when you're from the East Coast and then you live on the West Coast. Everything
else is in the middle.
Yeah. Everything that's west of Philadelphia and east of like Vegas, Midwest. and Midwest and Texas. Those are the two things. It's different.
Can't forget Kansas, somewhere in there. And Iowa, God. Throw them all together.
That's funny. All right, next game, Yale Purdue, also 15.5, totals at 143. Purdue, really interesting team, great offense. They're number 3 on offense, number 100 on defense, so that could be a little dicey for them. This is not the best version of this Yale team, although they got it done versus Princeton in the Ivy League championship game. Purdue catching 56% of the bets, 92% of the money. People love Purdue in this game. Usually I like these Ivy League teams because they're smart. They do all the little things right, as you would think for a team with kids that go to Yale. Purdue just may absolutely light them up. Number 3 offense going against the number 103 defense, and they're going to be just physically outmanned. This could get out of control. I'll say that I'm going to be on Purdue, but I'm not going to lock that in. But that's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like Purdue was probably ranked. They were supposed to be title contenders this year, right? And they've definitely had some letdowns. I might take Yale here. I feel like this is a good spot for like an Ivy League team that's very disciplined to potentially take advantage of the weak defense of Purdue. That is their biggest flaw. That's a really bad flaw to have even in the first round matchup. So I don't know. I think I might take a flyer on Yale here.
All right. Next game, Delaware Villanova, also 15.5, total 133.5. Delaware doesn't do anything special. 100 on offense, 212 on defense. Nothing in terms of luck, free throw or 3. That's worth noting. Villanova, 8 on offense, 28 on D, 82.3% from the free throw line, and that is the best mark in the country by far. Jay Wright team, kind of like an Ivy League team. They're just absolutely professional. As John Rathling says, they're a Fortune 500 company. You can bank on them all the time. I think this is a good spot where I know a lot of money, it looks like, is on Delaware in this game. It's a huge number, but I like Villanova, man. Villanova's just class all the way. They always get it done. They'll come out. They know exactly what they're doing when it comes to the NCAA tournament. That's why they've had so much success recently. Give me Nova at 15.5.
I'll take it. Blue Hens have nothing for Villanova. Villanova is definitely one of those teams that I think they have a nice seeding in the bracket, nice little place there. So I think they're also going to make a nice little run to the Elite Eight.
All right. Let's see. Next one on the board. Actually, I think this is my second biggest bet of the weekend so far. Miami, USC minus 1.5, total 139.5. This is Trojans all day. And I hate to do this because my wife's a Trojan. I absolutely fucking hate USC, but Kai, I'm sorry. Fight on, baby. They're gonna absolutely destroy Miami in this one. There's nothing that tells me that Miami's going to be able to compete. They're 17 on offense, but they're not going to be able to compete with the size inside that USC has. USC, it's just they're such a better team, and I don't even really like Andy Enfield, but this is not close to me. I think that they're going to win by 10 plus points.
Yeah, it's just really the front court play that scares me about USC, man. Like they're too dangerous down there, and I think Miami was a kind of a I don't know if the people are going to call him a darling, but I think I've seen quite a few folks choosing Miami in their brackets. But I too am going with USC here. Just think that they're the better team.
All right. So Rutgers, Notre Dame, Alabama. We'll pass on that one. I will tweet out what I think on there, but I think that either Rutgers or Notre Dame has a shot against Bama. I'll also pass over Wright State, Bryant, Arizona. Arizona's really good. They're a team that is capable of winning the entire tournament, so I'll probably like whoever. I'll like Arizona versus either of those two teams. Now, Danny, your squad. Hokie Nation. Virginia Tech plus 1.5 against Texas, total sitting at 123.5. My line says 1 and 125. Virginia Tech 18 on offense, 55 on D, 302 in terms of luck. Very unlucky team. Maybe a good time to buy in on them. 39.3% from deep. We love to see them launch it from deep. Texas, on the other hand, 32 on offense, 13 on D. Chris Beard team, so obviously they're going to be good on defense. Also a bad luck team, 279. They do not shoot the ball well from deep, 32.3%. 75% from the line, though. Just about the same as Virginia Tech. So, I'm on Hokie Nation. I know you're on Hokie Nation. The only question is, how much are we betting on it?
That's a funny thing, man. I've always had a rule, just going back from when I graduated and started betting on the Hokies. Don't bet on your squad. But this is different, man. We never won the ACC championship before. I'm put all the units on Virginia Tech, man. 96% of the money's on the Hokies here, and I see why, man. They got hot at the right time. Yeah, Texas. I think this is a bit disrespectful. It has 11 seed after winning the ACC. I know they were a bubble team, and they probably would have been an at-large bid had they not won it. But I don't know, man. I think the Hokies going to make a little run. It's going to be a pretty short run. I don't have them going super far, but I think they'll at least get out of the first round.
All right, next game on the board. Chattanooga, Illinois. Chattanooga plus 7.5, total 135.5. My number on this game is actually 5 and 137. So I'm supposed to bet Chattanooga here. Everybody else is betting Chattanooga here. This line is really short for a 413. People love Chattanooga. 58. Chattanooga. 58 on offense, 95 on D. 77% from the free throw line. Pretty good. Illinois, 23 on offense, 30 on D. Nothing else really to report on Illinois. Illinois is going to dominate inside in this game. But as you saw last year, I'll use the Oregon game against Iowa as an example. You can devise a system where you let Kofi Cockburn go off for 40 points like Luka Garza did against Oregon last year. Just let him score as much as you want. He's only getting 2 points. He's only getting 2 points at a time. They're not going to give it to him every time. Let them score that way. Eliminate their idea of running up and down the court and shooting threes. If Chattanooga gets hot from deep, there you go. That's a path to victory. So I think that Chattanooga is dangerous. I don't think this is one of my favorite dogs on the board, but if you're looking for a big upset, this certainly fits the profile.
I'm on Chattanooga, man. I love the profile that you just outlined of that path to victory. I got to roll with them. I think you got to take these upsets here, and 13-4. I think this one's a really interesting one. And I know Chattanooga certainly doesn't have as much of a chance to lose as you might think just by the name of it. But as you said, you got a 2 points to the spread here. So I think you got to play it. All
right. Fullerton, Duke, line is 18.5, 146. My number, 14 and 144. So I'm supposed to play Fullerton here. That is a big number difference. I don't know if I fully buy into it. 144 on offense, 164 on defense. They are 76.5% from the free throw line. Duke, first round with Coach K. This, of course, every game he may coach on the way out now, may be his last game. I don't know. There's nothing more than I would love to see Fullerton take out Duke in round one.
Take him out.
Send Coach K's ass out of there.
Quick.
That would be absolutely hilarious. From a numbers perspective, Duke, 7 on offense, 44 on D. Their shooting percentages or whatever. They're obviously going to outman Fullerton all over the place, but I don't know. There's no reason for Fullerton to compete in this game, but 18.5 versus a 14, I'm going to have to bet on Fullerton at that 18.5 for sure.
I'm with you, man. Let's continue to fade Duke. It seems like Duke's really struggled ever since it's been this, farewell tour for Coach K, man. Haven't been playing their best ball. So 18.5 points. I might take the Cali boys.
I like it. All right. 5 more games on the board. Iowa State, LSU. LSU does not currently have a head coach. He got fired for giving money to every single recruit that walked in the building and providing all of them with strippers. So good for him. He got enough good players in the building to get a 6 seed. Congratulations. Now you were fired and you will never have another job again. Although Rick Pitino got a job, so who knows? Total is 127. My number on this game is 3 and 125. Iowa State, horrific on offense, 151, but they're 10th on defense. Also a terrible free throw shooting team. Meanwhile, LSU, also great on defense, 89 on offense, 5 on defense, 31.9% from deep. So this strikes me at 127, first half under, baby. So 127, this will be like 60.5, 61.5, something like that. So that's you're getting to the point where like that's really low, but got to take it. Like the game under also. In terms of the side, 4.5. I like Iowa State. I think that the Will Wade no coach thing, like how much does that matter for one game? I don't know that it really matters that much. For an extended, time in the tournament, it probably matters a lot. But for one game, I don't know if it matters that much. But I'll lean towards Iowa State.
Yeah, that's a really funny story to lead into that. I'm gonna go LSU. I went LSU in my bracket, 4.5. We'll see. I think that Iowa State, they're certainly gonna have to protect the rim because they're one of the worst in the country at defensive efficiency at the rim, and then also letting up a lot of free throws. So if LSU can get to the rim, I think they're gonna waltz through this victory here and the spread. But yeah, right now I'm on the LSU side, but I don't know. Not having a coach there is certainly going to matter in tough situations.
I mean, athletically, they're going to dominate Iowa State. So if you believe in that, or just like screw X's and O's, it's just pros and Joes. I mean, I get it for LSU. All right, 4 more games. UAB, Houston. Line is 8.5, 136.5. My number says 140. It's actually kind of surprising. I would think I was liking the under there, but maybe it's an overplay. UAB, nothing wrong. No deficiencies. 28 on defense, 89, or 28 on offense, 89 on defense. Luck total is good. They shoot well from deep. They shoot well at free throw line. Houston, meanwhile, 10th in offense, 11th in defense. They're a really good team. Bad free throw shooting team. So I think that Houston wins this game. I think it's close to the number of 8.5. I think that free throw shooting may keep UAB in this one for longer than they deserve to be. And the fact that UAB can shoot from deep. I like a little backdoor cover here. So give me UAB plus 8.5, but that's all I'm going to have on this game, really.
Wow. I was surprised you're going to say that. UAB. I got to look into that more because I was all on Houston. I got Houston going very far in the in the tourney this year. I think they're a really strong team as a 5 seed. So UAB, interesting. I have no read on it right now, but I'm going to dig into that. I like your play there.
I actually have Houston going pretty far too. I just think that this is a situation where they could get backdoor build a little bit. Davidson, Michigan State. Michigan State minus 1.5, total 140. My number is 1 and 145. So we will be betting the over in this game. Davidson, 11 on offense, 152 on defense, 38.5 from deep. Michigan State does nothing particularly well, but nothing particularly wrong. I like the over. I like Davidson. I like Davidson money line. Upset special. I think Davidson's absolutely going to dominate this game.
I'm on Davidson as well, man. That line's too short for how close these teams are. I don't know, something about these 10-7 games this tournament, but I'm on Davidson.
All right, 2 games really quickly before we get out of here. I know Dan's got to go actually do his real job. Colgate, Wisconsin. Colgate plus 7.5, 139. I got Colgate winning this game, 40.1% from deep. I think this is the upset of Friday. Yeah. Screw Wisconsin. They're the luckiest team in the country, or one of them. Going against Wisco. Colgate all day. You like it?
I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I'm fading Wisconsin. I've been fading them for years. Didn't work out a couple years ago, but yeah, it's the luckiest team in the nation, man. And I don't believe them at all. Got to take these upsets when you can. I'm gonna take Colgate.
All right, last game on the board, TCU, Seton Hall. Seton Hall -1.5, total 130. I'm on Seton Hall. I think they get it done. Screw TCU. Jamie Dixon, get out of here. I'm on the Hall.
Hey, those 8-9s, man. I'm going Seton Hall. Got a couple homies that went there, had a great time in college, so I've always been picking them in tournaments since then. So can't knock the trend now.
All right, that does it for episode 65 of Gambling with Gold. Dan, thank you so much. I will be releasing all of my bets from Vegas. I can't wait to talk to you from Vegas. Maybe we'll talk while we're in Vegas, make some money.
I want to see the money guns. Get the money guns out. You know what I mean?
All right, baby.
Let's
get
it.
Until then, good luck with all your bets on March Madness. Hopefully you make some money, and we will talk to you soon. See ya.